Yo, what is everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to go over 2050 graphics titles and transitions for Final Cut Pro 10. Now this video is sponsored. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to the plugin down in the description below so you can go ahead and download the plugin for yourself. Now, the plugin costs about $59, so the plugin does cost $60, and I'll go ahead and put the download link in the description below, and a couple of disclaimers going over the link and going over, this entire plugin. The second link is going to be very helpful for content creators, so people watching this video. You can go ahead and buy the subscription license and get access to millions of creative assets from graphics, video, web templates, music tracks, and stock photos for $16.50 a month, so definitely go ahead and check that out, and the link is going to be down in the description below. Now there's not much of a difference between the regular and extended license. Both licenses provide the same tools, packs, and features for unlimited use. Both licenses also provide you with unlimited use, new updates, and add-on packs for free. Now I'm going to go over the two different licenses. The first one is the extended license, and this license is primarily used if you're doing, for commercial purposes. So if the buyer you're editing the video for actually wants to make money off of the video you're editing for, or the video you're editing, so this has to do feature movies or TV series. Now the regular license is for individuals and companies creating their own content. So you can purchase the pack and use it as much as you want. So this includes your own videos, for your YouTube channel, for Instagram, any type of social media videos. Basically the difference is extended is for commercial, and then the regular license is for just individual content creators. The next thing I want to go over is importing the plugins and basically where to actually put the different plugins. So basically there's 5 folders. 3 of them you want to put in your titles folder, and then the other one you want to put in your transition folder. What I mean by folder, I mean by motion template folder. So the FCPX graphics collection, icons collection, and title collection, you want to put that in your title section of your motions template. In the transitions collection, you want to obviously put that in the transitions tab in your motions template. So and the other one just a sound effect just operates like a normal folder. So you're basically putting 3 of them in the title section of the motions template, and the other one in the transition section of the motions template folder. The next one we'll go over is how to customize your different graphics. So you can see right here are all the different icons right here. Here are all the graphics, and you can scroll through and find the ones that you want for your different video. But I'll go ahead and just give you a couple examples of how to customize it right here. So you have this example right here. I just have a couple examples of things that I want to go over. So the first thing I want to go over is you can actually switch between the different social media platforms. So let's say this is Instagram right here, and I didn't know this situation when I first messed with it. But let's say I don't want Instagram, I want this to be YouTube. I can just go over here, go right over here and change it to YouTube. So you have a lot more customization than I thought when I first got this plugin. There actually is, like I said before, or like I just said, there actually is a lot more customization than you think. You actually have, a lot of control, over all these different plugins, which is a great asset. It's not just like a built-in template and you can't customize anything. You can even customize the different social media icons, which I think is a really big plus and something I was kind of disappointed when I first saw, because I thought you couldn't customize it, and then obviously I figured out you could. Now another thing I want to go over too is with transitions. So watch these transitions right here. As you can see, this photo moves in with the transition. Now what if you don't want that to happen? Well, if I go over right here, go to footage movement, uncheck footage movement, basically what that means is the photo is not going to move with the transition. So if I play it right here, as you can see, there we go. Now the photo does not move with the transition. The next one I'll go over is drop zones. So basically anytime you see one of these things, these drop zones right here, so I'll change the logo to drop zone right here, and then here's a drop zone. Basically this then allows you to customize it, to add your own logos, add your own icons. So go over here to the drop zone folder right here. I'll go over right here, scroll down to drop zone right here, and then let's just select this Starbucks icon right here, select it, apply clip, and voila, you have now customized the logo into the drop zone right here. And then of course you can go through and adjust the scale, adjust the position to achieve the look that you want. Basically just go to this icon right here on every graphic and just scroll through and see what options you have. Again, like I said before, you actually have a lot more control over these different graphics than you may think, and I didn't really think I would have that much control as much as I actually did. And then obviously you can go over here and you can change all of the different colors right here. So I could just go ahead and change the color right here. Let's say I want to change that to red. Again, you can go through, adjust the position, adjust the color, adjust the scale, adjust the font of the text. There are a whole bunch of really cool customizations when it comes to this, all these different graphics. And of course, you can go to the search bar right here and search for the different graphics that you want. And again, I'll put all the timestamps down below so you can search, for this certain icon. So let's say you want to do like, icons. Just go to the search bar and type up icons. You can go ahead and search, specific different graphics, especially if you've memorized the name of all the different graphics. That's one really helpful tip. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just give you a brief overview of all of my favorites from each of the different folders. I think there's about like 28 or 29 different folders. I went ahead and picked like my top 4, top 5 favorite graphics from each pack. So again, I'll put the timestamps down in the description below. So if you want to see a certain graphic, go ahead and go in the description below and you should be able to click over the different graphic. If that doesn't work, go ahead leave a comment down below, and if you have any questions, I'll go ahead and try my best to answer them. But I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a brief overview of some of my favorites. Some of them I customized and some of them I didn't, so I'm going to give you a brief overview. So the first one is logo stings right here. So I go ahead and play right here. Here are all the different options for logo stings. Now like I said before, these are some of my favorite. I went through and basically just picked through some of my favorite logo stings, ones that not only that I liked, but I found very practical. Like if I was in a situation where I was working with a company and they wanted me to create a logo sting, I would definitely use one of these. The next one I'll go over is Typography Titles right here. So as you can see right here, here are a whole bunch of really cool typography titles right here. So you can go ahead and again, you can scroll through and pick the ones that you want. Again, these are just some of my favorite. These are the ones that I enjoy the most, and I find myself, I would consider these to be, very practical. If I was in a similar situation where I needed a scoreboard or something like that, I would by all means use this graphic. I also tried to pick, again, like the best quality, or the ones that I think, I like the best, and also the ones that I think, are the most practical. The next one I'll go over is backgrounds right here. So as you can see, you have a whole bunch of really cool animated backgrounds. And again, I'm guilty of this too, and I'm sure tons of other people are guilty of this too, where you do a title sequence and you just have on a black background or a gray background, and there's nothing technically wrong about doing it that way, but having some animated backgrounds are definitely going to make your video look a little more interesting. And with a lot of other these graphics too, it's going to make your video look a lot more high quality. And the beauty of all this is you don't need After Effects, you don't need Apple Motion. This is completely created in Final Cut. The next one I'll go over is social media graphics right here. So here are a whole bunch of really cool icons or graphics for social media. So if you're doing anything, you want to like do a call to action, tell the person to subscribe, follow it, even a couple, really cool different icons for Instagram that you'd find in Instagram, you can go ahead and just redo them in Final Cut. And of course, you can go ahead and adjust you can basically, you've a lot of control over all these different graphics. As you can see, some of them I customized, and then some of them I just left as the generic or the standard way they were already made, because I didn't really have a great idea for some of these, but I tried my best to customize it, and obviously show that it is possible to customize these. So you can see right there, I can do a call to action. I'm probably going to use these in a lot of my future videos. Now you see in all my videos I always have like an animated subscribe button. Well, you can go ahead and have an animated subscribe button with this pack, which I think is really cool, and you do this setup for like a podcast, which I think is a really cool idea right there. The next section is infographics right here. So this is a really cool tool or a really cool graphics for a company. Let's say you're working for a company and you're doing like a corporate presentation, or maybe you're doing like a school presentation, like a high school or college presentation. Having infographics graphics is a really cool thing to have. And again, like a lot, I keep saying with all these different graphics, it'll make you stand out, and it will definitely make you look a lot more professional, because people will look at this and say, wow, this person must have put a lot of time in creating these graphics. And especially people like me who edit videos, if I didn't know this pack existed, I would be completely blown away, like, wow, that's pretty incredible graphics. Little do I know it's a template. I think that's a great tool, and you want to kind of find the boundary line of a template. Obviously you want to customize it, but it's really nice. It's just really simple. Import these templates, go ahead and customize them, and you're just going to look a lot more professional. Next one I'll go over is devices right here. See these really cool kind of 3D devices. Now, one thing that I didn't really think of when I first did these devices or did these icons is you don't actually have to have them as like animated graphics. I could just use this like a screenshot and do it for my Instagram, like a promo. It's just gonna look a lot nicer. So again, with some of these, you don't have to use them as an animated video. You can use them as screenshots or templates for your Instagram page, which is a really cool idea that I didn't really think of. So that's just one of many ideas. Next one I'll go over is shape accents right here. So you're doing a presentation, you're doing some sort of video, and you just want to highlight, like a map or something. You want to highlight a certain point in the map or a certain point in an image. It's really cool to have these different, accents just to highlight a certain point, a certain part of a photo or a video. Next one I'll go over is icons right here. So this is great for businesses to, to demonstrate, okay, we do delivery, we accept credit card, we accept cash, we have free Wi-Fi. Like, these are great icons to use for businesses, to show people, what the business offers. You can see here, oh, the business offers, if they see that icon, the business offers a free Wi-Fi. So it's a great little icon just to help, make people aware of, what this service has to offer. Next one I'll go over is minimal titles right here. So again, I'm very guilty of this too, where I'll just, take a black background, slap on a white text, and say, voila, I've created a title sequence. My title sequences are not very good, and I definitely wanted to use, find a good pack of motion graphics to create some good titles, because there'll be tons of circumstances if you're editing a video and someone wants a title, and you can just take a black background, import some white text, and yeah, I guess you can make it stand out. But adding this will just make your video stand out, and again, I keep saying it's going to make it look a lot more professional. Next one is Kinetic Titles right here. So you can see, this is what it looks like right here. You have a whole bunch of really cool kinetic titles. Now these are, again, there's not, much else to say, but rather than just I just kind of wanted to show you all of these different examples, and and that's what it looks like right here. You have all of these really cool kinetic titles right here. You can obviously I can't think off the top of my head every circumstance, but you can go use your own creativity and kind of just figure out where each one of these works. And again, I just want to show you some of my favorite ones, the ones that I personally like the best. Again, I went through, I don't know if I said this already, but I went through every single element, and I just chose my favorite. So hopefully by doing this, this will save you a lot of time rather than you going through 2,000 elements and finding your favorites. Next one is corporate titles right here. So for businesses, if you want to do the name of the business, a description of the business, this is a great way to do it with these really cool corporate titles right here. You have a whole bunch of really cool different options, and you can go ahead and mess with them, customize them, and get the look that you personally want. Whole bunch of really cool ones you can do. Again, these are just some of my favorites. You can obviously, I'm not saying you have to use these. You can obviously go through in the corporate title section and pick your favorite. But these are my favorite. I know I'm kind of rambling on a little bit because I just want to kind of just show you all the different things. There's not a whole bunch, a whole bunch of commentary to give. But I just want to kind of give you some different thoughts, some different ideas, kind of my thought process and why I liked certain graphics, and hopefully expand on that and give a couple more ideas that come off the top of my head. So yeah, I'm just going to show you some of my favorites right there. Next one is rectangle titles right here. Again, these are just some really cool different titles. You can go and customize them and try them out. These are just a whole bunch of, like I just keep saying over and over again, these are just cool. These are just some of my favorites, ones that I like the best, and hopefully these spark some different ideas. And that's the point of this video, to just give you an honest review and show you some of my favorites and the ones that I like the most. Next one is logo titles right here. So you can obviously put in your logo. Now some of them I didn't add something in because I want to show you the actual drop zone, what it looks like right there. So you see promo for Adidas.com. Again, this is just me kind of testing out and trying out some different things right there. But those are some really cool logo titles. The next one I'll go over is some really cool quote titles right here. So you see right here, obviously, these are some of the already built-in default ones, but you can go ahead and adjust it right here. So let's say you're doing a documentary or something like that, and you want to highlight quotes of a certain historical figure or something like that, or doing a sports video and you want to an athlete said a certain phrase or whatever, or said something about team or the game or something. It's really cool to have these really cool animated quotes, and again, it just makes your video look more professional and stand out. Next one is niche titles right here. So these are just kind of like a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of really cool different titles right here. As you can see, it's just called niche titles, so it's not like a specific definition of what these different titles are. These are just some very unique and maybe say like aesthetic titles, just some really interesting different ideas. I definitely there are definitely some of these I like. My favorite out of this section right here is the location ones. So if you're doing a YouTube video and you're doing a travel video and you want to highlight the location, and the name of the country, that's just a more professional way of doing it, rather than just slapping the name of the text with the name of the country you're visiting. Next one is longer titles. So it's like the name says, longer titles, and this basically allows you to add a whole bunch of text without it looking boring. Hence what a lot of these things are used for, just just enhance and make it look a little more interesting, rather than just slapping 30 lines of text. Just some interesting ways of showcasing longer titles. The next one I'll go over is lower thirds right here. So you can see right here are a whole bunch of really cool lower thirds, and these are just some of my favorites. I went through, picked my favorites. Some of them I customized, some of them I just left as the default, but I tried to kind of recreate my own lower thirds. Let's just say it didn't quite go that well. It definitely looked okay, but this is a much faster way. Just input the lower thirds, change 2 lines of text, font, color, or whatever, and voila, you have lower thirds. Trust me, this is going to save you a lot of time. I've definitely struggled finding some good lower thirds, and I think for the most part, I'm really happy with what this pack has to offer. Now, one thing I didn't realize with this pack is it has callouts. Now, this is something I've desperately wanted to use in videos, especially like tech videos. I've always wanted to use callouts, and this pack has callouts, and that was definitely a big point of emphasis that I really wanted to showcase, that this pack has callouts as well as lower thirds. And I know a lot of people really want to use callouts. Well, this pack has some really cool callouts. Next section I want to go over right here are Stomp Titles right here. So basically you just see these in especially Apple commercials, really fast-paced moving text. So I just want to give it a try. Obviously it's a whole bunch of hodgepodge of a whole bunch of different text, but I want to kind of try to recreate one of those Apple ads. Now I'm going to go over the transition section of this pack. So the first one is basic shape transitions right here, and these are just some of my favorite transitions. It just makes your transitions look or makes your video look a lot more professional, and especially if you're transitioning into a logo section, especially a corporate video or something, having these nice animated titles, it just adds a little bit, rather than just cutting to the title. I think it just looks a little more professional and looks a lot nicer. Next one I'll go over is color shapes transitions. So these are a whole bunch of really unique transitions. I've seen a lot of transitions, made a lot of videos about transitions. Never seen a transition like this. This is hands down the most unique transition I've ever seen. Never in my life have I ever seen a transition quite like this one. Next one I'll go over is glitch transitions right here. So it's like the name says, just glitch transitions. And these are some of my favorite ones that I enjoy the most, and ones I definitely find practical. I think a lot of times the glitch transitions could be a little overused. I tried to find the more minimal ones just to kind of showcase. The next one I'll go over is grid transition right here. This is a really quick transition right here. It's a pretty unique and interesting transition right there. Next one I'll go over is ink transitions right here. So it's kind of like a lumafade transition right there, where just kind of slowly kind of comes apart right there. It's a really cool and interesting transition, and again, it's very similar to the 3D or the lumafade transition. Next one I'll go over is the paintbrush transitions right here. It's literally like the name says, as most of these are. It's just some really cool, nice, kind of wipe across the screen, paintbrush transitions. Next one I'll go over is slice transitions right here. So as you see right here, kind of just basically cuts up the image right here. So you can go and create these really cool slice transitions, which I am a huge fan of these, and I definitely really like these. I think be careful, you don't want to overuse these, but these can definitely make your video stand out. Especially that one is probably one of my favorite ones right there. There's a whole bunch of really cool transitions, and it's called the slice transitions. The last transition is the zoom transition right here. So here are a whole bunch of really cool zoom transitions right there. Those just, again, some of my favorites, and that's pretty much it. I'm not a huge fan of the zoom transition one, as well as the 3D device one, just to kind of give my honest opinion, but I definitely think it's a time and place. I'm not a huge fan of this type of look, kind of like that weird kind of like fisheye or whip pan look, but everyone has a different preference. I'm just not a huge fan of that, but if you are, that's a really cool transition pack. Now the next thing I want to go over is the logo Sting sound effects. Now you may have thought I've forgotten about this, but I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and just go over the brief idea of how to use them. So this is the logo Sting number 4. So you want to just use sound effect number 4. So basically what you're just doing is you're taking the number of the logo Sting text and you're matching it up with the number of the logo Sting transition. So again, this is logo Sting number 4, and I'm going to line it up with sound effect number 4. So you're just lining up the numbers of the sound effect with the actual title, and that's pretty much it right there. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful and informative. If you're new to this channel, I upload Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoy these types of videos, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, Final Cut Pro 10 tutorial playlist with over 250 Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials. So definitely go ahead and check out that playlist if you want to see more Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.